The call came at exactly 2:17 a.m. I remember the time because I stared at it for a full 10 seconds before answering. Not because I was tired, not because I was confused, but because the caller ID showed my own number, my exact number, every digit. Same country code, same network, same everything. At first, I thought it was some weird glitch, maybe a spammer spoofing numbers. That happens sometimes, right? I almost ignored it. But then the phone stopped ringing, and 1 second later, it started again. Same number. Mine.
I don't know why, but something about that second call felt different, more aggressive. Like whoever or whatever was calling knew I was looking at the screen. I should have blocked it. Instead, I answered. Hello? For a second, there was only static. Soft. Crackling. Like someone rubbing paper against the microphone. Then I heard breathing. Slow. Uneven. And then, my own voice whispered, "Don't let him in." The call ended. I sat frozen on my bed, staring at the dark wall across from me.
I live alone in a small apartment on the edge of town. 3rd floor, old building, thin walls, the kind of place where you hear pipes knocking at night and neighbors arguing through vents. But at that moment, the entire building was silent. Too silent. I looked at my call history. Incoming call. Me. Duration. 11 seconds. I laughed nervously and tossed the phone onto the blanket. Great, I muttered. Now scammers are doing horror movie stuff. I tried convincing myself it was fake, maybe an edited recording, maybe someone using AI to mimic voices. Still, I decided to get water and clear my head. The moment my feet touched the floor, someone knocked on my apartment door. 3 slow knocks. Knock. 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 I froze instantly. Nobody visits me at 2 in the morning. I checked the peephole. Nothing. The hallway lights outside were dim and flickering, but no one was there. I waited. Silence. Then my phone buzzed again. Unknown message. I looked down. Did you check the hallway yet? My stomach dropped. I typed back immediately. Who is this? The typing bubble appeared instantly. You already know. Another knock hit the door. This time louder. Bang. 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 I stepped back so fast I almost tripped over my chair. Who's there? I shouted. No response. Then my phone rang again. My number. I didn't want to answer. Every instinct in my body screamed not to. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. I picked up. This time there was no static. Only whispering. Multiple voices layered together. And underneath them, my voice again. He's outside. I backed away from the door. What do you want? I whispered. You opened the call. Then the line died. Right after that, the doorknob moved. Slowly. Very slowly. As if someone on the other side was carefully testing whether it was locked. I couldn't breathe. I grabbed the nearest thing I could use as a weapon, a metal lamp from my desk, and stood there staring at the door. The handle stopped moving. Then came scratching. Not normal scratching. Not like keys or fingernails. It sounded wet. Dragging slowly across the wood. I called the police. The operator answered quickly. What's your emergency?
"There's someone outside my apartment," I whispered. "They keep knocking," and the line suddenly crackled. Then I heard my own voice interrupt. "Don't tell them." The call disconnected. I stared at the phone in disbelief. No signal. No bars. Nothing. That's impossible in my apartment. I always have signal. Then every light in the room flickered once, twice, and went out completely. Darkness swallowed the apartment. Outside, thunder rumbled somewhere far away. I turned on my phone flashlight with shaking hands. The beam pointed toward the front door. The scratching had stopped.
But now, I heard footsteps. Inside the apartment. Slow steps. Somewhere near the kitchen. I swung the flashlight toward the sound. Nothing. The kitchen was empty. But I could hear breathing again. Closer this time. I backed toward my bedroom, keeping the flashlight moving across the room. Who's there? No answer. Then my phone buzzed in my hand. New message. Don't look behind you. Every muscle in my body locked up. I could feel someone standing there, right behind me, close enough that I could hear faint breathing near my ear. Warm. Wet. I turned anyway. Nothing. The hallway behind me was empty, but at the far end, my bedroom door was open. I was sure I had closed it earlier. The darkness inside looked deeper somehow. Wrong. Like the shadows were moving slightly. Then, I saw it. A figure standing beside my bed. Tall. Perfectly still. I raised the flashlight and nearly screamed. It was me. Same face. Same clothes. Same haircut. Except its skin looked pale gray, stretched too tightly across its face. And its smile was too wide. Far too wide. The thing tilted its head slowly. Then my phone rang again, still in my hand. The figure in the bedroom never moved its lips, but when I answered, I heard its voice. You shouldn't have picked up. The thing suddenly stepped forward, fast, too fast. I slammed the bedroom door shut and ran for the apartment exit. The footsteps behind me exploded across the floor, heavy, violent. I reached the front door, unlocked it, and sprinted into the hallway. The hallway lights flickered above me as I ran toward the stairwell. Behind me, my apartment door creaked open slowly. I looked back once. The thing stood in the doorway, watching me, smiling. Then it lifted my phone to its ear. My phone! The one still in my hand. I almost stumbled down the stairs. By the time I reached the parking lot outside, rain was pouring hard enough to blur the streetlights. I jumped into my car and locked the doors. My hand shook so badly I dropped the keys twice. Finally, the engine started. I looked up toward my apartment window. 3rd floor. And there it was, standing behind the glass, watching me. Lightning flashed. For 1 second, I saw its face clearly. Mine, but older somehow. Rotting. Its smile pressed against the window, unnaturally wide. Then the lights in my apartment shut off again. I drove. Didn't care where. I just needed distance. The rain hammered the windshield as empty roads stretched ahead of me. I kept checking the rearview mirror every few seconds. Paranoia does strange things to your brain at night. Every shadow becomes a person. Every passing light looks wrong. After maybe 20 minutes, my phone buzzed again. I almost threw it out the window. One new voicemail.
No caller ID. Duration 1 minute. I shouldn't have listened to it, but I did.
At first, there was only breathing. Then I heard myself talking. Not current me, future me, panicked, exhausted. If you're hearing this, it already found you. The recording crackled. I don't know how much time you have left. Don't go home. Don't trust the calls. And whatever happens... Heavy static swallowed part of the message. Then the voice returned, screaming, "Do not fall asleep." The voicemail ended. At that exact moment, I realized I had no idea where I was driving. The roads looked unfamiliar. No cars, no buildings, just endless trees on both sides.
My GPS displayed no signal. Then the radio turned on by itself. Soft static filled the car. A voice emerged slowly. My voice. "You can't leave." I slammed the radio off. 2 seconds later, it turned back on. Louder. "You answered." I ripped the entire radio panel out with my hand. The voice continued anyway, now coming from the back seat. "You let me in." I looked in the mirror. Someone was sitting behind me. A dark silhouette, smiling. I swerved violently and nearly crashed into a ditch. When I looked back again, the seat was empty. I stopped the car in the middle of the road, breathing hard. My chest hurt. Everything felt unreal. Then came another knock from inside the trunk. Knock. 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 I stared behind me in horror. The knocking continued. Slow. Patient. Like something trapped inside wanted out. I stepped out of the car into the rain. The road was completely empty. No lights. No sounds except thunder and the knocking from the trunk. Part of me wanted to run, but another part needed to know. I approached the trunk slowly. The knocking stopped. My hands trembled as I reached for the latch.
And then my phone rang again. My number. I answered without thinking. The voice whispered urgently, "Don't open it." Too late. I lifted the trunk. Inside was me, bound with rope, mouth covered in blood, eyes wide with terror. The version of me inside the trunk started screaming through the gag. I stumbled backward and fell onto the wet road. What the hell? Then headlights appeared behind me. A truck, speeding straight toward me. I rolled away at the last second as the truck slammed into my car. Metal exploded everywhere. The trunk crushed instantly.
The bound version of me inside disappeared beneath twisted steel. The truck never stopped. It vanished down the road. I lay there, soaked in rain, staring at the wreckage. My phone buzzed beside me. One final message. He found the wrong one. Then all the lights around me went out. Every distant light, every street lamp, everything. Darkness, complete darkness. And from somewhere deep in the woods beside the road, I heard footsteps approaching, slow, dragging, and accompanied by the sound of a phone ringing. My ringtone. Closer, closer, closer. I ran into the trees without thinking. Branches clawed at my face as I pushed deeper into the forest. The ground was muddy and uneven, but I didn't stop. Behind me, the ringtone continued echoing through the woods, always the same distance away, never closer, never farther, like it was following patiently, watching. After several minutes, I saw a small cabin through the trees. One light glowed faintly inside. I sprinted toward it and pounded on the door. An old man opened it halfway. His face immediately changed when he saw me. "You answered it, didn't you?" I froze. "What?" His eyes dropped to my phone, then back to me. "You should never answer calls from yourself. Before I could speak, he grabbed my arm and pulled me inside. The cabin walls were covered in strange symbols and newspaper clippings. Most of them showed missing people, dozens of them, each article circled in red ink, and beside almost every name, a phone number. The old man locked the door quickly. "What is this?" I asked. He ignored me. Instead, he walked to an old radio sitting on a shelf and turned the volume up. Static filled the room. Then voices emerged. Whispers. Hundreds of overlapping whispers, all begging for help. "All of them answered," the old man said quietly. I looked at the wall again. One photo made my blood run cold. It was me. A picture taken earlier that week outside a grocery store. Underneath it, written in red ink, "Next." "No," I whispered. The old man nodded slowly. "It copies people, learns them, replaces them." "What does?" He looked toward the dark window. "It." A shadow moved outside, tall, human-shaped, smiling. My phone started ringing again. The old man's face went pale instantly. "Do not answer." The ringtone became louder, 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 even though the phone volume was low. The windows began shaking violently. The whispers from the radio turned into screams. Then my own voice echoed from outside the cabin. "Let me in." The door handle twisted slowly. The old man grabbed a shotgun from beside the fireplace. "It found you faster than usual." Bang. Something slammed against the front door hard enough to crack the wood. Another slam followed, then another. The lights flickered rapidly. I backed away as the thing outside began laughing. My laugh, exactly my laugh. The old man aimed the shotgun at the door with shaking hands. "You need to understand something," he whispered. "What?" He looked directly into my eyes. "It only calls after it already sees you." The room suddenly went silent. No knocks, no ringing, nothing. Then a voice spoke directly behind me. "So why did you answer?" I turned slowly and saw myself standing inside the cabin, smiling. The last thing I remember is my phone screen lighting up one final time. Incoming call. From me.